What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Monday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com, Restored Motions, RestoredMotions.com, and ProCharge EV, ProChargeEV.com. Coming to you from, this is not a postcard. This is not a green screen. This is Covey Rise in Husser, Louisiana. Here for a few days. Got here last evening, had dinner and meetings all day today, and then tomorrow morning, and then we're back to Baton Rouge. So, guarantee leadership retreat, call it some work retreat. So, we come, we have a little fun and get some work done as well. So, be here today. So, I will not be on AFR today or on Tuesday. Musso filling in. How about the LSU women's basketball team advancing to the women's Final Four? Year 2 under Kim Mulkey, and they get it done. So we had dinner here last night, 6:30 dinner started, but it was in the lodge. They had a TV in there, so we're kind of keeping an eye on the game. When dinner ended, we were able to watch most of the second half. So there's no other way to say it. It was a sloppily played game on both sides. Neither team shot the ball particularly well, but LSU defended the basket well enough and scored enough points. I mean, held Miami to 43 points in the ball game. So in year 2 under Kim Mulkey, LSU is back in the women's Final Four. You know, let me see if I can. Well, let me show y'all what we got here. So everybody's got a cabin, right? So this is there's 3 of us staying here in this cabin, but it's me, Gordy, and Brian Rodriguez from Gatorworks. So beautiful, man. You can see the big lake out there. And so there's cabins all along this row. So anyway, everybody's got their own fire pit. I think, well, I don't know where he went, but I could see Flynn Foster walking down there just a bit ago, but anyway. So it's gorgeous morning for sure. Anyway, flip you back around. So, I'm going to set you up. Like, everyone has their own outdoor kitchen as well, little outdoor grill built in. So I'm going to set this up right here. Maybe this will be good, so I don't have to make you wobbly and sick. There we go. All right. We'll say good mornings here. Shelby asked, where are we again? If you missed the intro, here at Covey Rise in Husser, Louisiana. So I'm here for a work thing for Guarantee. So the last couple of years, if you remember, we were at Beau Rivage the last couple of years for this. But today, this time we came here instead. So got here last night, had dinner, meetings all day today. We got breakfast is at 8, and then our first meeting's at 8:45. So, and then we're meetings all day, and then we kind of have some time like this evening, late afternoon, evening to relax a bit. Dinner tonight, meetings tomorrow morning, and then back. So, Wendell Norman, good morning. Lucy B, good morning. Trivia Carter, Brian Penton, all right. Jesse Brown, good morning. Thoughts on Kane leaving LSU for dinner? Yeah. So, for those that missed it, Jamar Kane is very abruptly took the Denver Broncos job. I did make some calls on it yesterday. So apparently it was a very unexpected thing and a very sudden thing. The connection there is Vance Joseph. So Vance, who Sean Payton hired to be his DC, is the one who pursued Jamar Kane to be the D-line coach in Denver. And also, and I need to go check on who this is, but apparently there's also there's somebody on the Denver defensive line who Kane coached at Oklahoma, so one of his guys plays there. So it was something that made sense, where the money was crazy, and it's an opportunity to go be in the NFL and work under Vance. And so anyway, I know everyone's curious who LSU is going to hire. LSU did bring Pete Jenkins in, not to coach on staff, but if y'all remember, Coach Pete will go consult different programs Like he'll go work with defensive linemen, like as a consultant with their coaches and stuff. Like he's told us that. Like Nick brings him in every spring. Kirby will bring him to Georgia. He'll go to Oklahoma, so he'd worked there in the past, where Jamar came from, obviously. So I think, Pete will probably be pushing, one of his guys for the gig, but we'll see, what Brian Kelly has to do, because ultimately this was an abrupt thing. It was not something that they were that had been percolating for a while. It happened very quickly. So, it's disappointing because Kane's a good defensive line coach. He's a good recruiter as well, and the players loved him. I mean, and that was another thing, having come from Oklahoma. He had he had been recruiting a lot of the players that like LSU was pursuing anyway. So, anyway, let's see. Brant Roban, good morning. Flying home Thursday. Can't wait for the weekend. All right, Brant. Matt Plavidal, good morning. Cliff Nelson, good morning. Nice digs. Enjoy. Yes, sir. Reed Rule. Was Edwards out in Game 3 his audition for the Sunday spot? Reed, I got asked that question a bunch yesterday on Morning Scone. A lot of people were asking. I don't believe so. I think Edwards, you found his role. He's your stopper out of the bullpen. Like, he's the guy who you can bring in a tough spot, almost like what Raiselman or Cooper were for you a year ago. And if you need him to go get you 2, 3, 4 innings, he can do that. I think the better question is if you move Thatcher Hurd out of that Sunday role, which I don't think they will, by the way, not yet anyway. I think Chase Shores is your most likely candidate to go back in that role. And then keep in mind, Blake Money started last week in the midweek for you, so he might be the next guy up there. Just spitballing a little bit, but no, I don't think, and I don't know this. This isn't where, I tell you without telling you. That's not one of those things. I really don't know. I mean, the series ended on Saturday night, and then, I was rolling up here yesterday. So it's not like I've had a lot of time to make calls or find anything out, but my guess is they're not going to bail on Thatcher Hurd that quickly. He's a great pitcher, and you've seen him already. The game at Texas he started was fantastic, and he's got that ability. And it's not like his stuff is lacking. He's got throw strikes. I mean, that's what we talked about yesterday. He walked 5 guys in 2 innings. Like, you got to throw strikes. You walk 5 batters, you're just constantly putting yourself in stressful spots. And then the other thing that you don't always consider is when you put people on base, then you're throwing out of the stretch. And for a lot of guys, obviously your mechanics change out of the stretch. Sometimes you lose velocity out of the stretch. So, for him, you can't work yourself into trouble. Jason H, good morning. What kicks are you wearing? Jason, too funny. So yesterday I had my all white Air Force Ones on yesterday, and so my shoes actually became a topic. I did bring like 7 pairs of shoes. I'll show you what I'm wearing right now. Hang on. Like, suffice to say, jeans and my G-Nikes out here is not exactly the norm. Most people have boots on. Not me. Oh, man. Anyway. Gordy's awake. Wonder if we can get a Gordy appearance. Let's see. Shelby is Musso hosting the show. Yes, so listen, so that's one of the things that we implemented whenever I became program director is, and just so you know, this is across our entire lineup on ESPN, whenever hosts have been out, finding fill-in hosts is always very difficult. So when Jake and T-Bob are out, Mario's filling in. When Hanny or Hunt are out, Taylor Sharp fills in. When I'm out, Musso fills in. That way we keep consistency with the shows. You never have to worry who's filling in. So the producers step up, and it's easier to find someone to, we've got a roster of kind of part-time role producers that can fill in and fill those roles. So, so if I'm ever out, Musso's hosting. Smash that like button if you would. I'd appreciate it. Subscribe up to the YouTube channel. Guy Brooks, good morning. LSU women's basketball continue to surprise the pundits. Antron Hemingway, good morning. Enjoy the retreat. Go Tigers. I was at the game yesterday. All right. The women's basketball game in South Carolina? That's awesome, man. Cliff Nelson, the Fighting, Kim Mulkey's LFG. Brant, my friend's driving down to BR for the series. We plan on playing golf Friday morning. Any courses y'all recommend? All I care about is decent greens to putt on. Well, Brant, Breck endorses, or I endorse Breck. They sponsor the show. So Santa Maria and Beaver Creek are going to be your two best bets there. Beaver Creek is north in Zachary. It's north of downtown, so it's a little bit of a drive, but it's a great course. You could always go play U Club, which is beautiful, but it is a really, really difficult course. Yeah. Where are we? Brett DeGrow, good morning. Looks peaceful. Maybe bourbon, pouring a cigar. Did that last night, Brett. We did that last night. I might do it again tonight. Trivia, what round will Trey Morgan go in? I believe he'll be a top 3 round guy, probably a third rounder. And him playing left field as well as he has is going to help his draft stock tremendously. The first game of the doubleheader, he made a diving play in left field on the line, like coming in. He's a great athlete, man, and he can handle the bat. The question people forget, Trey had arm surgery in high school. And so there was this big question about, like, if his arm would or has come back, and playing first base, we haven't really gotten to see it. So him playing left field is going to answer a lot of questions for scouts, and it's going to help his draft stock tremendously. Cajun Country, good morning. Tommy White's home run rivals, one of the longest I've ever seen at the box. I think it was 448, right? The longest one that I've ever seen at the new box, Cajun Country, and someone tell me if you could think of another. Greg Dykman hit one in 2017. I think it was in the 480s, like 486, something like that. That he hit to right field, like over that secondary scoreboard. I think that's the longest one that I remember at the new box. Since they've had all the TrackMan stuff and they could measure all that stuff. Jesse Post, good morning. Guy Brooks, good morning. Trey Morgan's been hitting hard, a lot of line drives, caught into shifts. That's true. But he's still hitting 300, and Trey's fine. Weston Weaver, I feel like the Lady Tigers had a great path to the Final Four. They were better than every team they faced. Was that telling of their seeding? Yeah, I think so. I remember we talked about it. A lot of people felt that they were underseeded. Some fans were upset, and I said, "Don't be upset about that. Like, the path that LSU got was very manageable, which is really all you want. I don't care what your seed is. I'm more concerned with your path." And South Carolina on the other side of the bracket played really well to LSU. Patrick Ramos, how about Sam Burns beating Scotty Chef? Go Burns. Jeb Whitley, where are you? Looks pretty. We're at Covey Rise in Husser, Louisiana. You see the Lady Tigers were gifted Kobe 6 Grinches? I did. Stoned Musa, good morning. What a weekend to be a Tiger. LSU did the thing. Arkansas fans are the worst, especially when you live up here. Okay. I'd imagine that's true. Now, I imagine that's, if you're living in it, that's a very different perspective. Thomas Lamont, that's crazy. So we were talking about this. Cruz could go over his next 60 and still be batting over 300. He's just different. Spurge, what's going on? Jude Saunier, Covey Rise. Yeah, so Covey Rise is the, I guess this is the property that we're in. It's in Husser. So if you take the Robert exit off of I-12, it's about 30 minutes north. So it's beautiful here. So there's a lot of cabins on the property. So like it's almost like, think about, I mean, I don't know how to describe it. It's a I mean, I'd walk you through there, but I don't know if the guys are. So it's a 3-bedroom cabin, right? So Gordy has a room, I have a room, and Brian Rodriguez has a room. And so then I think there's like 14 or 15 of us up here. So like spouses are invited. So some people brought their spouse, but not everybody did. Anyway, it is beautiful. I don't even know if y'all can see that lake back there. Pond, I guess, pond, lake, whatever. It's beautiful. It's not too hot this morning either, which I'm thankful for that. All right, couple more. Antron, okay, you're at the women's game. Cool. Dalton Barnett, Von Bluesman, Jared Espy. When's the next time we hear from Brian Kelly? They had practice, they had availability on Saturday. I thought Kelly met with the media after. Kelly did meet with the media after practice on Saturday, didn't he? I'm almost positive. I need to check the schedule otherwise. The media availability. I mean, obviously, I'm not there today, so. Jeb Whitley, Musso, Paul, and Matt are my favorite iteration of AFR. You all play off each other well. Thank you, Jeb. Appreciate that, man. We've gone through a lot of them, man. You know, from when I think about the producers over the years, Cade was original producer, then Harrelson, Carly, Chad Laborde, Haldane, Musso, back to Haldane, back to Musso. That's 8 different audio producers. And then we obviously had Tony from Dutchtown was the first video producer. And then we got Paul. And I've told Paul O'Neill that he's not allowed to leave ever. I don't even allow Paul to go on vacation. He's just not allowed. He can never leave. That's our rule. Yeah, thanks, Cliff. Yes, please smash that like button. 89 watching live, we appreciate that. If you would, please take a quick second, smash that like button. And if you're new, subscribe up to the channel. As always, brought to you by Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. You need an orthopedist, go Brock. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. You need a roof, call Hudco. Restored Motions, if you have pain, book a session with Crystal Poche. And ProCharge EV, ProChargeEV.com. All right, a couple more, let's see. Dalton, Sage Ryan at nickel. I love that Greg Brooks and Major Burns are coming back. I think Sage is going to play all over. I think you might see him at nickel, at safety. I think you're going to see those guys move a bunch. I think Greg Brooks is probably your starting nickel. What did Jared Espy? No, he didn't. The players did. What is that? Jared, sorry, in response to what? Reed, looks like a great place to get your zen before the Wild Series coming up. Tennessee coming in this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That is going to be fun. Shelby, great to see BK and McMahon there to support Mulkey. You rarely see anything like that. I don't know that I'd say you rarely see anything like that. I think that's actually pretty common. Whenever like the like LSU has a private plane, I'm sure Scott Woodward was on the plane and McMahon and Kelly went. I'm not trying to be completely like combative with you on that, Shelby, but that actually is pretty common. You'll see the coaches in other sports make the trip pretty commonly for stuff like that. Donovan Peterson, good morning from the Atlanta airport. Okay, a lot of us traveling today. And one more, Cajun country. Have the Cleveland Browns ruined the NFL quarterback market? Lamar Jackson needs to play next year. Lamar Jackson's going to play. Don't worry about it. He'll play somewhere. And I don't know if Cleveland ruined the market because I would have given Deshaun Watson that contract gladly if I was the Saints. Oh, got it. Okay, thank you, Jared. Okay, Brian Kelly didn't speak, but the players did. Okay, got it. Yeah, I'll go look at somebody remind me, like shoot me a text, and I'll go look at the email. Like we get an email from LSU Sports Information with all the availability for practice, and then when we get access to practice, then we get access to Brian Kelly and the players. Coming up, like the next couple Saturdays, we get like Den Brock, Matt House, and John Jancic as well, special teams, so that'll be fun too. All right, I'm going to bounce because breakfast at 8, which I think it's already past 8 probably, or close to it, and then I don't have my watch on yet. And then we got meetings at 8:45, so I got to get going. Thanks so much for watching. Please smash that like button if you would. If you're new, subscribe up to the channel. Thanks to our great sponsors. Y'all have an awesome day. Peace.